Hello, welcome to this tutorial on using the Design Center's Ultimaker 3D printers. In this tutorial, we will be covering how to use the Cura software to prepare a 3D model for printing, how to load the file into the 3D printer, how to check that the printer is ready for printing, and how to troubleshoot problems as they arise. You can design your own models using tools like Blender or Tinkercad, or you can use a 3D model you find on the internet. Before you can print your model, however, you'll need to convert it into a format that the 3D printers can read using the Ultimaker Cura software on the Design Center's computers. The Cura software will allow you to rotate, scale, and duplicate your 3D model up to the maximum print dimensions of the printer. The maximum dimensions for an Ultimaker 2 extended 3D printer is 12 by 9 by 8.9 inches. However, an object of this size will also take a significant amount of time to print and will likely exceed the Design Center's maximum print time. The Cura software will give you an approximate print time for your piece, and the current print time restrictions can be found on the Design Center's website. If you need to print something that will take longer than the Design Center's maximum print time, consult with a staff member and it may be possible to accommodate your printing needs. You can also set the infill density of your print, which will determine how much plastic is in the interior of the model. The higher the percentage, the more dense your print will be. Of course, increasing the density of the infill will consume more filament and take longer to print. For this reason, the Design Center asks that you use an infill of 10 to 20% unless you absolutely need a higher density. The Design Center has nozzles for printing from 1 mm through 0.2 mm. The smaller the nozzle, the more fine details can be added to the model. The Design Center machines usually have 0.6 mm nozzles installed. If you would like to print at a higher resolution with a narrower nozzle, ask a staff member to help you change out the nozzle on your machine. Smaller nozzle sizes will also add to the total print time since the extruder will be applying smaller amounts of plastic, so you should only use narrower nozzles for prints with fine details. The Design Center has a number of different filament colors for your 3D print. You can choose any of the available colors, but if you want a specific color that is not currently loaded into an available machine, you will need to ask a staff member to help you change the filament. Since the 3D printer will be adding to your print one drop of plastic at a time, each drop will need to have enough structure beneath it to support its weight. For this reason, it's important to minimize overhangs in your print. One way to accomplish this is by rotating the piece in the Cura software to minimize the overhangs. If you've done this, and you still have parts that can't lie flat on the print bed, you will need to use a support scaffolding to rest it on. If you're using a 3D modeling program like Blender or Tinkercad to create your model from scratch, you don't need to worry about building this scaffolding into your model. Just check the Generate Support option in Cura, and the software will automatically generate the supports for any model you're using. Note that Cura will not include the scaffolding as part of the preview, so just be mindful that the final print will look a bit different from what you see on the screen. Even if your print has no overhangs, you should still include a raft for your print, which is a thin layer of plastic around the base of the piece, which will help anchor the piece to the print bed and ensure that the plastic is applied to the piece correctly. The printers can only read files from SD cards, but the computers in the Design Center do not have built-in SD card ports. If one is not already plugged into the computer, you will need to connect a USB SD card adapter to load your files onto. Once the file has been loaded, put the card into the SD port on the front of the 3D printer. Navigate to the files using the navigational dial on the front of the printer. Rotate the dial to scroll through the menu and push the dial to select options. Once you've started your print, the machine will take several minutes to heat up the filament and the print bed. The printing will start once the machine is properly heated up, and you should keep an eye on the machine for at least the first few minutes of printing to make sure there are no problems. If the printer appears to be printing in mid-air, there could be several causes for this. It could be that the filament is not properly fed into the extruder. The tube running to the extruder is transparent, so you should be able to see the plastic inside running out to the spool of filament on the back of the printer. There may be other issues with your prints, such as gaps, separation, or splitting of the plastic layers, plastic oozing, or a lot of stray strings of plastic. These may require more fine-tuning of the machines, and you should consult a staff member on how to improve the quality of your print. Once your print is finished, remove the raft and any of the support structures. you may find that the surface is rather rough. You can easily use a piece of sandpaper or a file to smooth out the surface of your piece. You can also add enamel or paint to your piece to give it the look you want. Thank you and good luck with your prints.